Hey everybody, it's ShadowStar here for another Doctor Who review. This time it's the brand new episode, The Star Beast. Now, leading up to these specials, I hadn't been feeling as hyped for some reason. Until now. The moment I started watching the episode, I felt the hype. I like that they opened the episode with a bit of a recap of what happened with the 10th Doctor and Donna, as well as getting into it now. Just refreshing our memories, plus who knows if somehow you'd never seen Series 4. Plus, before we get into the episode, we have a brand new intro credits, which I absolutely love it. Visually, it feels like a blend of, say, Jodie's title sequence and Matt Smith's first title sequence, with the music really incorporating basically everything. There's a little riff from the movie. It feels like Series 4 with a bit of Series 5. It kind of weaves together every intro we've had so far. I really love that new intro. But anyway, getting into the plot at hand, we really get the ball rolling straight away. We don't waste any time. We start off meeting Donna, re-meeting Donna and her family, and it's so great to see her family, and I love the fact that Sylvia gets involved too. I love that everyone is here. It's not just, it's Donna off on an adventure. Everyone gets to be here, and I really like that they brought the plot of Donna's memory into the forefront. Just like with the End of Time, Sylvia is paranoid about Donna remembering. I do like that they actually had continuity, because I remember leading up to this, people were curious as to why Donna isn't super rich. Turns out she gave away all of it, or most of it, to charity, and apparently there was like 100 million. I understand giving things to charity, but surely you could set yourself up with, like, a bit of a better life. Like, even if you used, say, the first 10 million on something good, the rest of the 90 million could still go to charity. Could have given yourself a little bit of a better life, Donna. Jeez. Anyway, obviously we can't talk about Donna's family without talking about the brand new family member, Rose. And obviously going into this, I had no idea what the character would be like, and I had no idea how they would handle her, but they handled her very well. Obviously there's going to be some people who are upset about it, but those people can go cry and die in a hole for all I care. But they handled it well, and I actually didn't expect them to make it part of the plot. I expected it to be like, a nice little reference here and there, and that's about it. Because at first, that's all it was. You understand, Donna's super supportive. Rose obviously faces some troubles. Sylvia is trying her best, but I like the fact that Sylvia doesn't perfectly have a grasp on it. That's, it's a nice touch. She still cares. I like that. I do wish Sean got to do more, but he's pushed it aside, but that's to be expected. But, the Rose character had a lot to do in this episode, and I didn't expect her to become plot relevant near the end, which we'll get into. Obviously, this adventure, it's not clear how much time has passed. I'm going to assume very little. I'm going to assume, because the Doctor pulled out the psychic paper and it still uses feminine pronouns, so I'm going to assume it's still very recent. Obviously, the mini-episode with Davros took place before this, but I'm going to assume not much time has passed, although apparently there's some comic books or something. But either way, it's still not much time has passed, and the Doctor's still pondering. We get a lot of Unit in this episode. I knew Unit would be focusing more in some of the later specials. I didn't know Unit would show up here, and we get a brand new character. Speaking of brand new things, while we're in that Unit scene in like the in the warehouse or whatever, the sonic screwdriver can now make force fields and also make holographic screens. I don't know. I mean, I know some people accuse the Sonic of being a bit overpowered, but on one hand, okay, a force field is pretty overpowered. The holographic screen I kind of like, because we always do that thing where the Doctor points the Sonic at something and gets a quick reading, and we just have to assume they know what's going on. Here we get to see the screen, which is nice. But anyway, obviously we get into the plot at hand, the spaceship crashes, and I like the twist, or at least, I don't know if it's twist, but I assume a lot of us thought the kind of bug-eyed aliens would be the villain, and Beep the Meep would be not a villain, but obviously there's a switch. Beep the Meep is actually evil. I do like the fact that we have a court scene in the episode. That was completely random, but I love the fact that suddenly the Doctor just pulls out a wig and we have a court scene between Beep the Meep and the other thing. So that was, I don't know, that was a nice little twist. But the music, as to be expected, is brilliant. I mean, it's Murray Gold. I'm so glad he's back. But even more to the point, not only do we, I like the fact that Murray Gold isn't just rehashing his old music. He does weave in the Doctor's old theme, but puts it in a new spin. Also, I feel like I heard the I Am the Doctor theme from Series 5 in here. I really love the music. I mean, you know me, I love music. But anyway, and of course, back to Donna's family. You can't have Donna's family without mentioning Wilf. He wasn't in this episode. Apparently he was originally going to be. Don't worry, I know he will show up eventually. I don't know how. But I know they didn't cut all his scenes. You do get a brief scare where the Doctor thinks he passed away, which, it's interesting they kept that in. That scene obviously hits a lot more harder now. But yeah, that was a really touching and also kind of tear-jerking scene, given what unfortunately happened shortly after filming. But yeah, I do like that Wilf is being kept in care by Unit. Unit really goes above and beyond for the Doctor. I love the fact that this episode kind of actually reminds us of the Doctor's love-hate relationship, where he will befriend, say, the scientific advisor and has some respect for Kate, but a lot of the soldiers he still doesn't respect, or other aspects he doesn't respect. I like that because, sometimes it's been hit or miss about how he feels about Unit. But yeah. But anyway, yeah, you get the plot twist, the Beep the Meep, it becomes evil, it wants to destroy, well, it's not so much it wants to destroy the world, but its spaceship will, for some reason, destroy a good portion of London just to take off, so obviously we have to stop that, and obviously Donna drags along, and I like the little foreshadowing of, at first, obviously Donna's been having memory flashes and she's not sure what's going on, but then she tags along with the Doctor and she's starting to remember things even before the plot kicks in. But, I like that little foreshadowing. We're building up to it before it. And I love that scene where Donna doesn't realize what's happening and the Doctor apparently has some passcode that will just instantly unlock her memories. And I loved the plot twist of Donna can now handle it, because apparently the Dr. Donna essence is genetic, so some of it passed on to Rose. And, like I said, I never expected them to use Rose being trans as a plot point near the end. Again, I never expected that, which is a bit of an interesting twist. Usually the people who are upset at everything in life usually say, oh, what's the point of this? There's no point to the plot. Well, here they've actually made it plot relevant, although knowing them, they'll hate it even more, but who cares? I do like that, like I said, Beep to Meep, when we first saw it, was adorable, and it's still adorable even when it turns evil, and, I do like the fact that in the first few scenes we're doing parodies of E.T. with it in the shed and hiding amongst all the other plushies and everything, so, always got to have a nice reference there. But yeah, we get the resolution, the Dr. Donna stuff, and I know some people will say it's a cop-out, but to be fair, it's Russell. Here's the thing, you gotta remember, as much as we praise Russell T Davies, he's always had a bit of a cop-out ending, whether it's like the Doctor at the end of Series 3, or the Dr. Donna, or absorbing the Time Vortex. He's always had a bit of a Deus Ex Machina, so this is par for the course. This is par for the course of what has happened with his endings before, but at least they resolved it and just say, okay, Donna will now still remember the Doctor, but no longer has the Dr. Donna essence, as far as I believe, which is great. So now we've basically resolved that plot. Donna can tag along, and obviously Donna does tag along at the end. I thought at the end Rose was going to go with them, but no. Obviously, we get the grand reveal of the new TARDIS interior, and I absolutely love it. It's multi-layered like the 12th Doctor's. I love how there's a bit of set below and above. You've got the main floor, you've got stuff below. It's a lot like the 12th Doctor's TARDIS. It's nice and bright. The lights can change, which means directors can do what they want. There's a lot of walking space, which means I love when there's lots of walking space. Because, as much as I love the original Russell T Davies era, his TARDIS wasn't anything special. It's just, let's stand around the TARDIS console. That's it. Whereas here, you've got lots of space, which makes the scenes more dynamic and walking around, so that is always good. So I love the new TARDIS interior, I love the new intro. They've really gone above and beyond with this special, and I'm going to assume that TARDIS interior will stick around for Ncuti Gatwa's TARDIS as well. But overall, Really enjoyed the story. There isn't too much to complain. Like, there wasn't too much to complain about. It's Donna. There was lots of light comedy. The plot was good. It wasn't the most grand plot in the world, but it's a nice reintroduction to the series because it's been so long for so many of us. I mean, this is the longest kept Doctor Who's had since it came back. So yeah, I've been absolutely loving this. It's not the most grand plot. Okay, the ending can feel a bit of a Deus Ex Machina, but that's pretty standard. But overall, I enjoyed it. I'm going to be watching the rest of the specials, so this was great. Anyway, I will see you next week for more Doctor Who reviews and other things as well. See you next time, guys.